What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of the Rays video. So, it's time for another producer's letter this month, and there's actually, I didn't look at the whole thing, but I looked at one thing I saw people talking about, and the next update, or the next big update, has me really excited. Not just for the, obviously new Mirage Arts and stuff that we're getting, but for an actual game update that is something I've been asking for one of two things I've been asking for a long time. I guess I'll just go over the two things. The first thing is, which is going to have to deal with what we're getting, is the ability to just use more AP per stage. Instead of having to run the same stage 20 times, I'd rather just be able to use all my stamina in one go and then be done with it. The other thing I want is, stamina refill items or AP refill items. All the other Tales mobile games had them. They had gels to refill your stamina instead of having to use summonable currency to refill it. One of those we're getting. The other one has not happened yet, but one of those we're getting, so we'll go over it here in just a second. But let's go over everything in order first. So the Rays Festival is being held for the first time in a while to commemorate the 15th anniversary of Tales of Vesperia. I hate how it does that. We are holding a free 10 series event. That just means you get 10 free multis from the thing. I have gotten nothing, by the way. Nothing of value. I think only one of... So we've had 9 free multis so far. We have one more tomorrow. I think only one of them dropped a Mirage Art, and I don't even remember who it was for. It might have been Summer X or something. It's something I couldn't use. But every other day, I've just gotten nothing. There's been a day or two where I've gotten a 5-star, but it's an old 5-star. Today, I got Melina's first 5-star, so it's just my luck has been horrible for this Rays Festival, which is unfortunate. But yeah. It'd be great if you spin the gacha for Summer Memories. Thank you for Cooperation Unison Attack. Okay, let's get down to business. So, future updates, August delivery schedule. Shortening function for event laps. That basically is what I was talking about before. The ability to use more stamina and do less runs of a stage. Because some events, not this one in particular, this one's pretty short. Ray's Festival farming stage really doesn't take that long. But Spirit Gear stages, for example, are very lengthy. So if we ever get our Spirit Gear event again, which I'm sure we will, I think they're just trying to find a way to revamp it in a meaningful way, which, here, we're going to talk about this right here. It'll be a lot easier to farm up characters, because what really stops me is not the fact that I have to use my own currency, even though I would love to have, stamina items. What stops me is the time it takes to do each Spirit Gear stage. And I have to spend 4 hours, or even a raid event, for example. I don't know how it would work for raid events. They might not do it for that. I would like if they did. That'd be super nice. Raid events as well. Be able to farm up that 3 million in an hour. But yeah, that's what really stops me from farming those events, is just that it takes so long. It takes you but between all the loading screens and everything, it takes you 2 or 3 minutes for each run. And, by the time you get to 3 million, you've spent 6 hours farming. That doesn't help anybody. It's just tedious. It's just tedious, especially if you have a team that's easily clearing the stage. It would just be so much better to just be able to do everything at once. All right, but let's look at this. After Recollection release in April, we've been renovating and improving with a focus on Recollection. This will conclude with the repairs up to version 5.3.2. For the time being, we'll be focusing on repairing and improving existing functions of the Rays main game. So they're basically saying the last few months they've really been focusing on Recollection and pumping out content for Recollection, but now that they've got all the major titles for Recollection in the game, and there's a decent amount of content around Recollection, now they want to start focusing back on the other stuff, the existing stuff that was before Recollection, which is very, very good. There are still points that need to be improved in Recollection, although, it's the end content for the game. This content is for those who have finished playing Tales of the Rays. For this reason, there are fewer customers playing the main version of Rays, okay, so obviously the main story of Rays is not something, a lot of people are playing, because most people have finished it by now, unless you're a new player. Main part of the raise is still being played, improving existing functions in the main game. Yeah, they just want to keep improving stuff. The first, not a big deal for starters, reduce the load on the event lapse. Reduce the amount of times you have to do it. By increasing the amount of AP to be paid number of times, the reward can be increased by that number of times. Now, I like how they're wording this because they're making it sound like there's no limit. Like, there are times where, like, when we would be going through the Ray's main story and you get a bunch of AP orbs, it would, like, give me two full, like, resets of AP, so I'd have, like, over 1,000 AP total. Like, being able to use all that, like, if each stage costs 80 AP, if I did that, you know, all at once, the amount of rewards I would get would be ridiculous. But yeah, they're going to explain it right here. So I like this that it's not just going to be like, oh, because some gacha games will add this function and people get excited, but then it's like, oh, it's just a 2 times multiplier you can use 3 times a day. And then I'm just like, okay, well, that's kind of useless, but thanks, I guess. It helps a little bit. For example, if you pay 5 times AP 200 for a quest that consumes 40 AP, you'll receive 5 times the rewards for clearing it once. With this feature, you'll be able to play less than before, so less time constraints. This is very good, because there are so many times where I would love to be doing the recollection content, but I spend all the time that I'll have to play Rays farming an event. So this would be so much better. You know, I could get on the game, spend my AP right away on whatever event is currently live, and then jump into recollection and be able to enjoy that. So I think this is very, very good. It'll be implemented around September. Okay, so none of the events coming this month are going to be able to utilize this, which I think is fine. I don't know if Vague's Ending Mirror Jar event is going to be a raid event, but we'll have to see. And then obviously neither of these are going to be raid events, of course. But we'll see when we get to it. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Pretty big update. Very, very exciting. So these are obviously our 3 events. We've got the Ending Mirror Jar for Vague with the Overray for Soleil, and then, of course, Agarte being playable. We got the Tales of Symphonia 20th Anniversary event, and then, of course, we have the seasonal event for Abyss and Graces. So, order of these events are as follows. So first we're going to have, so the Summer Festival so they're doing it opposite. Not really opposite, but this event is going to be first. The Luke, Natalia, Hubert, and Pascal event, that's what's going to be coming first. Seasonal Magic Mirror event. This year's Summer Festival event will feature Abyssman and Sun Oil Star masks. I want to do a summer event involving Abyssman. So very, very cool with that. If you played Abyss, you'll understand more of this. Seemed difficult to establish a story if they appear in person. Oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, first event going to be the seasonal event. So very, very cool there. Second event is going to be the Rebirth event. Let's see. Agarte, Vague, and Soleil. Obviously, this is all weirdly translated because it's just Google Translate. But yeah, so second event's going to be Vague, Agarte, and Soleil. I do expect that, I think I mentioned this in the video yesterday, but in case I didn't, I do expect that they're going to do what they usually do when there's only a handful of characters. Since it's only 3 new Mirror Jars, I expect that at least 1 or 2 other Rebirth characters are going to get new 5 stars, you know, whether it's T-Tray or, you know, Hilda or Mao or whoever. I do think some characters will get new 5 stars just so they can fill out the banner. So do be aware of that if you're going to summon on this. Tales of Symphonia 20th Anniversary event. Okay, so let's see. August 29th marks the 20th anniversary of Tales of Symphonia. It makes sense why they're doing it at the end of this month. 3 set of crossover Mirror Jars will be available. Obviously, Lloyd Genus, Mythos Kratos, and Martel and Ewan. Except for Lloyd and Genus, they're all ancient heroes. You may even hear stories from those days. I love whenever they do this, when they give us more lore about the 4 heroes. Obviously, the story of the, you know, the past of Mythos, Martel, Kratos, and Ewan, you know, all the stuff that they did in the past. Because Symphonia's game, anime, none of that stuff really gives you a full timeline of what happens there. I would be 100% open to an actual full game just about the I mean, obviously they could make more party members from that time, but I would love a game that just follows those four, what actually happened during that time. Some of you may have noticed, looking at the distribution cycle this month, there is an adjustment. We return to the event cycle, so 3 events a month. Because before we were, the last few months, ever since Recollection started, it would be 2 events, and then we get a Recollection banner with new Recollection content. But it seems like now that they're stepping back from the Recollection content, we're going to go back to having 3 months, or 3 events a month, which is good. Oh, okay, and they're saying Recollection is going to have more content starting in September, so very, very cool. And that's pretty much it. So, yep, pretty much. So, obviously, Symphonia event's going to be at the end of this month, which I think this is the banner I'm going to summon for. I'd really want to summon here, at least a little bit, because I mainly want Agarte. I mean, obviously, I'd love to get Soleil's Overray or Vague's Ending Marriage Art, but I'd really love to pull Agarte before having to wait, like, 8 months until she's on a banner somewhere again, and I summon for her again. Because I'm really curious how they're going to make her moveset. Because for those who have played Rebirth, she's not a playable character, and you never actually see her fight in the game, one way or another. So, I'm very curious. I assume she's going to be magic-based. I don't think they're going to give her a giant Buster Sword or anything, but it'll still be interesting to see how she plays out. But that's pretty much it. Very excited about the AP increase usage function coming to the game next month, and this is a very nice month of content. And of course, after Vague, we only have 5 more main protagonists from the mainline games to still get Ending Marriage Arts. So we'll have to see which of those 5 come in September. So that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.